you know, the courts are taking this issue up slowly, and it's always been my view that we really shouldn't be trying to get into what the federal courts are doing. What we ought to do is continually ask our representatives in Congress to repeal the section of the law, because if we get it repealed, then it's done. So I would favor the resolution on the legislation, and I would favor the ordinance dealing with the use of Lane County resources. I think that that's the cleanest way to do it. I mean, I guess we could have an advisory opinion to a federal court somewhere, but you know, the federal courts are rather independent, where the purpose of the resolution is a resolution of Congress and say, you know, change the law. I think it's worth noting that, you know, Congressman DeFazio and Senator Merkley are opposed to this and have said they're opposed to it. So we do have willing ears for our 1% of Congress, and that's good, but that's not enough. And I think also there's some merit to the idea that there's some weight here, which as local governments in various types of places, big, small, east, west, north, south, as they start passing these resolutions, it gives greater and greater momentum to the idea of repealing section. And remember, repealing or having a constitutional ruling by a federal court on a statute that the president said he's not going to try to do it. Well, number one, we're having a new president in January 20th, 2017. So we will probably have a new person in that job, and this law allows that new president to take advantage of it, where the current president says, at least in a signing statement, he's not going to. So to me, this isn't just a matter of what the current situation is, it's also a justifiable fear about what might happen in the future, when maybe an administration would say, hey, you stuffed this in as a writer, you stuffed this in at the last minute, now you've had to sign this bill, or we wouldn't have a military. So most presidents sign the National Defense Authorization Act. In fact, I'm not aware of one that hasn't. So, you know, it's a pretty important piece of legislation when Congress finally comes to agreement. But to stuff this in means that it's still the law of the land, at least as some people define that term. So until a federal court says no, until a federal court, the highest court that will get to it, says no, it's still going to be viewed by the federal government as the law of the land. So I think we need to say, we're against it, we want it repealed, that's our resolution, and we're not going to use local resources, and we're not going to allow local resources to be used to go along with it, because we do think it is unconstitutional. And we could use the decision of the district court, federal district court, that ruled it unconstitutional as part of the reason for